8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome. I am Joseph the Voice, and we are getting ready for quite the matchup. 173 teams all across the NECC for Rocket League. 59 teams in the Emergence Division, and 3 of them just so happen to be Firebirds. Not only just that, but we have a Firebird versus Firebird matchup happening later tonight. But to start out, it will be the Firebirds taking on, or Team C taking on Fresno State. Flair, Dwizen, and Weathens did quite a wonderful job these last, few matchups yesterday, just putting it together, really finding themselves, and Flair really stepping it up. And as long as they continue to feed him and give him what he needs, they will continue to succeed. We will see. We don't have much information for Fresno State, but I'll tell you this. We are looking for a good matchup tonight, and that is what I expect to see. So it will be a best of 7 going forward here in the final 8. Who will make it to those final 4 spots? And lastly, who will become national championships for the NECC? Hold tight, and we will be right back as we get everything started. All right, and we are getting started here. We have Adrian, Rebirth. I'm trying to catch the names real quick because I have no information to go off of for Fresno State. We have Junior, Adrian, and Rebirth coming on out for Fresno State. We have the Firebirds, Flair, Dwizen, and Weathens for Firebirds Team C. And Junior comes through and knocks it in for an early goal. Do the Firebirds have what it takes to come back real quick and bring the momentum back in their favor? It is just getting started. There is a lot of game left, and we are expecting some big plays throughout this matchup. Dwizen gonna knock it off to the side. Looks like Flair's gonna take it off the wall, drop it down to Weathens, who gets dropped down by Rebirth. Dwizen trying to get up on it, and Adrian knocks it in from up top. And just like that, Fresno is up 2-0. It is still very early in this matchup, and there is a lot of game to go. Let's see if Firebirds can turn it around. Junior getting a favorable kickoff. Flair getting it kicked downfield into the corner. Adrian gonna grab hold of it, gets a nice tap on it. Almost leaving it for Flair to shoot it in. Dwizen had an opportunity, but hits it just high of the mark. Nice demo there by Flair, trying to thin out the playing field. Another demo there by Weathens. Dwizen trying to get a shot on it, but Adrian right there. And Dwizen sets him up, and Weathens knocks it in. Beautiful, beautiful play there by the Firebird Team C. With 4 minutes and 1 second left on the clock, Firebirds are only down by 1, and the energy is high, and the goals are flying. Can we continue this high level of energy going forward? Dwizen knocks it up down to Flair, who tries to kick it back. Unfavorable for his teammate Weathens. Rebirth tries to grab control. Kicks it on back. Junior tries to kick it towards goal, and bar down. Junior with his second goal. Just like that, Fresno is kicking it off and making it happen for their team, and going up 3-1 with 3:42 on the clock. Flair gets a nice hit up. Taps it off the sidewall. Rebirth comes up and hits it, sets it up to Adrian. right back down to Rebirth. They're backing it back and forth to themselves, just kicking it back for a good pass. Rebirth grabs it, goes for the shot, kicks it across, and knocks it down for the goal. This Fresno State team has a lot to show right now. They are dishing it out, and they are looking good. Do the Firebirds have what it takes to slow them down? I think they do. Let's see if Flair can start heating up. Rebirth with a huge hit downfield, looks to try to get another shot on it, sets himself up, and knocks it in. It's running away from the Firebirds a little bit at this point. Still plenty of time, but they need to figure out a game plan to slow down this fast-paced momentum that Fresno is throwing at them. Cheated on up, both of them getting favorable 50s, but Weathens hits it up and in for the goal. Weathens looking good here early in the matchup, trying to set his team up and get back into this game. With 3:07 on the clock, Firebirds are down by 3. All right, Weathens gets a favorable kickoff. Dwizen barely hitting it off the wall. Looks like he missed it though. Weathens kicking it into the corner, trying to drop it on down for Flair, who gets it kicked away. They're trying to stay vigilant and on the mark, but this Fresno State team is also doing the same. Dwizen kicks it downfield, looks to try to set his teammate up. Junior jumps all over it. Flair just trying to knock it down. Dwizen gets onto it, make sure that doesn't get into the goal. Adrian knocks it on down to Rebirth, and a beautiful pass set up Rebirth for that goal, and Fresno for their 6th goal of this matchup, putting them up by 4. With 2 minutes and 21 seconds, anything can still happen, but the Firebirds have to figure it out. This Team C they were killing it yesterday, but at this point, they are starting to cool off. Can they find the momentum? This is only game 1. There is still many more games to go. There is a best of 7 series. Maybe they're just trying to find the rhythm, fill this team out, and then take it from there. But they definitely need to figure something as they continue going through this game. Can they gain the momentum back? Junior getting a nice hit, trying to knock it away in goal. But unfortunately, Flair could not knock it away. With 1:50 on the clock, Firebirds are doing everything they can to try to figure something out here, but Fresno has their number at this point. As they continue to mix it up, will Firebirds find a rhythm and slow them down? Weathen's gonna jump on top of that. Flair trying to get up, but just out of his reach. Dwizen trying to reset his teammate, but Adrian jumps all over it. Dwizen with a nice demo on Adrian. Dwizen trying to set himself up, but Adrian gets on over and kicks it away. Rebirth trying to clear the field out a little bit, but it doesn't slow them down. Weathens grabs hold and tries kicking it downfield. Rebirth gets in his face. Rebirth regaining control and gets the dribble on in for the 8th goal of the matchup for Fresno. These Bulldogs are rowdy, I tell ya. 8:50 seconds on the clock. Can Carthage find a little bit momentum to take into game 2? It's a little unlikely. They can still come back in this one as that clock continues to tick on down. 35 seconds on the clock. Adrian in the air, but no, says the Firebirds. Flair trying to kick it out, set his teammates up, but Rebirth getting a nice knock on it. Dwizen coming right back. Weathen's in the air, gets his angle, but barely off the mark on the set. Dwizen gets on up there, but not enough to get in the goal. Weathen's just high. Adrian kicks it across, sets up Rebirth off the back wall, and Adrian tries to shoot the goal. Flair gets on it with a nice save. And that is game one. Fresno State coming out like a rowdy bulldog indeed. Can they find a way to tame these dogs? Because they are biting at the ankles right now. Look at those shots on goal. 12 shots on goal in comparison to 4. Flair not heating up just yet. They need to get some rhythm flowing, and they need to get something happening. Defensively, they're still putting it together enough to slow them down, but they need to get it together a little bit more. Rebirth, 4 goals, 3 assists. He's doing everything he can for the Bulldogs to distribute himself and the effort to get the ball where it needs to be, whether it be the goal or his teammate's hood. He is doing a lot to help out his team. With 5 shots on goal, you cannot let that happen. Will the Firebirds be able to slow them down going into game 2? All right, and here we go. Game 2 for the Firebird Team C. Fresno State coming out hot, swinging. They are doing a lot right now. Will they be able to figure out the game plan from the Firebird Team C side? Flair getting on up, and just like that, I think he might have heard me. He wasn't heating up yet, and just like that, he took the cap off. Give him one more, and he might just heat up a little bit. Dwizen getting a favorable kickoff, pushing into the corner. Junior gonna take it out. Flair jumping right on top of that, realizing he needs to get in the game early if he needs to help out his team. All players have to be swinging on all cylinders if you want to get back into this one and slow down this Fresno State team. And just like that, they're up early, but can they hold it down? Dwizen gets a shot downfield. Rebirth grabs it. Flair knocking it right back to the other side. Adrian just misses the mark. Flair puts it out front, but Rebirth kicks it away. Dwizen trying to drop it on down. Junior jumps all over it. Flair trying to gain control, push it across, but Adrian right there, it says no. Adrian kicking it out, trying to find it, but Dwizen isn't gonna allow it. Dwizen pushing it across. Can Weathens get up there? He does not. Rebirth regains control. We're gonna have to see a little bit more patience here from the Firebird Team C. They are not being patient enough, and they're missing too many opportunities right now. Even though they're up, if they continue to do that, that's the same things that were slowing them down in game 1. Keep holding down that momentum, and you guys will be able to get this back to a 1-1. And heck, you never know, we might see the best of 7 play out. A little bit of back and forth from both teams. Carthage Team C figuring it out a little bit more. It took them less than 60 seconds, and they're starting to figure out the game plan. Weathens get on up, misses the mark. Flair jumping there to help out his teammate. Favorable hit by Flair on that 50. Dwizen jumping on top of that shot by Rebirth. Hits it off the top, but Firebirds are not there. Rebirth trying to thin out the field some more for this team as they make their push downfield. Junior sets up Rebirth, and he hits it across. And it is now a 1-1 matchup, 2:26 on the clock. A little bit of a misdirect there for the Firebirds. He couldn't turn around quick enough in goal, and Fresno gets that shot in. 2:22 on the clock. Fresno sets themselves up there. Wheatham's gonna kick it across. Rebirth barely missing it. Adrian jumps on top of it. Dwizin trying to set up Flair, gets the hit, but not enough to get it in. Wheatham's trying to re-get us. Ooh, nice opportunity there, but it does not play out how he wanted. Beautiful set there, but just misses it. A little bit of clumping happening right now from the Carthage Team C. They need to split up the field. They had beautiful team plays yesterday, and they're rotating very well. They need to keep that same rhythm and find it in game 2 and get ahead with 1:32 on the clock. Fresno State goes up 2-1. This Fresno State team is figuring it out, and they are putting it together and weaving themselves a nice little blanket, and they might just be up 2-0 here early in this matchup if the Firebirds Team C cannot figure it out. Flair, Dwizin, and Weethings need to work together here and make something happen. Rebirth, huge hit downfield. Weethings grabs hold, kicks it across. Dwizin barely missing. Adrian kicking it back to the corner. Adrian with another hit for the setup. Flair not getting the flip he wanted. Weethings kicks it away. Dwizin trying to grab hold just high of the mark. Junior thinning out the field. This team for Fresno is in fact playing a little bit of bully ball, as we like to call it. They are demoing, they are bumping, and they are thinning out the field and holding it down here in game 2. If they cannot allow this to happen, Firebirds need to figure it out. Otherwise, it is going to be 2-0 here real quick with 36 seconds left in this match. Can they put it together? They've done it before, and they'll do it again. Flair setting it up, and Dwizin right there. Unfortunately, Adrian gets in his face with a good save. Junior jumping all over that. But Flair once again getting there. As time looks to expire, will Carthage get the favorable bounce? They do not. And just like that, Fresno State goes up 2-0. As you can see, the Bulldogs are continuing to gnaw at the ankles. They are not giving up, and they are not letting loose. They are taking that chain that has been wrapped around them, and they are using it to gain control in this one. They are tugging, they are pulling, and they are pulling forward. The Firebirds need to get some more momentum going. As you can see, almost the reverse of what we saw last game from the Firebirds. Flair definitely heating up a little bit more, but the rest of the team started to cool down. They need to get more shots on goal. They were able to slow down Fresno State, not allow as many shots on goal. But if they want to win, they are going to have to get it on goal. They have to get it on the opposition and continue to push it forward. All right, game 3 is starting up. Will we possibly see a substitution if things do not continue to play out how Carthage wants it to happen going forward? This Team C is definitely a good team, but unfortunately, Fresno is a little bit better in these earlier matchups. Will the Firebirds Team C be able to figure it out? Rebirth getting a nice shot in that corner top pocket. Adrian hitting it off of the defender, getting a nice favorable set for his teammate, who knocks it in. Carthage getting a favorable kickoff. Adrian grabbing hold of it. Rebirth trying to get a second hit, but missing the mark. Flair trying to get a set towards the goal. Not the hit that Junior wanted, leaving it there. Twizen cannot find the angle. Very awkward. Ethan's trying to put something together, but Adrian will not let it happen. Adrian resetting it in front of goal. Flair kicking it away. Flair with a good clear there. Flair with another good clear, not allowing them to keep it on that side. Ethan's just right of the goal. Flair grabs hold, but Adrian is right there to slow him down. Flair barely missing. Twizen trying to find something, but just barely missing. This Firebirds team is coming close, but they are not close enough. Junior's trying to kick it away, but almost setting it there for the Firebird Team C. And Weathens finds the angle and knocks it down. It is 1-1 with 3:18 on the clock. A lot of time left to bring it back some more and keep running with this momentum. 3:18 indeed. Can they make it happen? Junior trying to knock it down for Adrian, who gets kicked away by Weathens. Flair tries to grab hold, gets knocked down. Twizen trying to find a good angle, trying to set his team up. Does not work out. Junior kicking it across for Adrian, but Twizen right there to get a nice hit. And it goes in. Twizen bringing his team up in this match number 3 with 2:52 on the clock. The Firebirds are starting to find a rhythm. All right, Weathens grabs hold, but Adrian right there to take it right back. Twizen trying to get in his face. Adrian still trying to be fancy with it, leaving out in front, gets another hit. Reba trying to kick it back in front, but Weathens will not have it. Flair grabs hold, kicks it across. Is it favorable for Adrian? Unfortunately. Flair kicks it across. Junior grabs hold, kicks it back to Adrian, who knocks it across and in. 2-2 with 2:24 on the clock. This is quite the matchup. Rebirth gets a nice hit, tries to set it for his teammate Junior, but gets kicked away by Twizen. Flair trying to get a nice set, kicks it too far to the side. Oh, dribbles it past him, nice shot, little bit of fancy feet there and knocks it in. Flair, you fancy, huh? You love to see it. Nice dribbles, nice shot just over the defender and puts his team up 3-2 with 2:05 on the clock. Weathen gets on up, kicks it back to the wall side. Adrian kicks it up. Twizen grabs hold, drops it down. Flair gets a favorable 50. Not much in the tank. Still trying to stay alive, though. Great way to just keep the pressure on him. Adrian trying to drive it downfield, but Twizen grabs it, tries to set his teammate up. Flair gets met at the mark by Junior. Weathen's hitting it wide, coming back, and Junior takes a hold of it and kicks it back into the corner. Junior with a nice clear downfield. Weathen trying to grab hold. A good demo by Twizen, trying to make it a lot harder for this Fresno State to come back. Adrian setting up his teammate, but Weathen's kicking it away. Weathens with the double tap. Nice set for his teammate, but they are not quick enough to get there. Adrian just a little bit faster. Dwizen just barely knocking away from the defender. The Junior, nice shot on goal, but Flair is not allowing it. Dwizen kicking it over to Weathens. Nice pass back. Adrian right there to stop it. Flair's looking pretty nice with these fake outs and dribbles right now. If he continues this, he can definitely keep his team moving forward and definitely staying alive. Weathens with a nice little pop-up, but Junior right there to get in his face. Rebirth kicking it across. 4 seconds left on the goal. Dwizen takes hold. Flair jumps all over, tries to snuff it out, and just like that, the Firebirds are starting to bring it back. 1-2. And as you continue to see it, Flair is continuing to heat up. 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 save. Not as many shots on goal, but that 1 shot was enough to dribble it past the defender and put them up. Adrian doing a lot on the defensive side to just get around the field and keep the ball moving. If the Firebirds can continue this level of momentum, they can take game 4, but we will have to see that going forward. All right, no substitutions, same teams here in game 4 as they continue to ride it out. Will the Firebirds continue to push forward? Can they bring it to the 2-2, or will it fall to a 3-1? And just like that, Rebirth knocks it in. 4 seconds off the clock. You hate to see it. Fresno up early in this one. Flair jumps on up, tries to kick it away. Not the most favorable defend. Weathens with a good clear there. Adrian grabs hold. Adrian finds the angle and knocks it in for the goal. This Fresno State team wants it back. They want to go home early. They do not want to see a game 7 playing like this. Barely any time off the clock, and they are already up 2-0. Carthage needs to find that momentum that they had in game 3. Adrian able to find it and knock it away. Rebirth kicks it across, and Weathens right there on that save. Adrian staying aggressive just like we saw in that last game. Dwizen trying to get it clear there, but Junior jumps all over it. Correction, Rebirth jumps all over it. Junior had a nice bump to clear the front of goal there. You can't see it, but it happened to the left of the goal. Beautiful, beautiful clear there by that teammate, leaving his team an opportunity to score. Flair trying to bump away the defender. He wants that ball. He does not want them in his way. Adrian kicking it across. Flair grabs hold. Tries to get the dribbles in, but gets bumped by Adrian. Weathens trying to get the shot on goal, but Rebirth right there. A nice demo by Flair, but it is not enough. Or is it? Weathens gets just back in time and knocks it in for that goal. And the Firebirds are starting to claw back. With 3:36 left on the clock, that's plenty of time. Weathens goes up, finds the angle, knocks it past, but Junior's right there. But Dwizen gets up on it, refines themselves, corrects the angle, and puts it in. And just like that, the Firebirds are bringing it back 2-3 with 3:29 on the clock. Weathen's meeting them up in the air. Dwizen grabbing hold, trying to set up Flair. Gets snuffed at the mark. Rebirth with a nice clear downfield. Good communication there by Carthage. Flair grabs hold, knocks it right back. Flair trying to get a shot into the corner. Adrian hits it right back. Flair stays patient, gets it knocked out to his teammates. Flair almost had the flip there to knock it towards goal. Flair definitely a good player on the ground, able to gain control and get the dribbles he needs to maneuver the ball around. He's continued to show it time and time again, and it's helping his team quite tremendously in this matchup. Dwizen knocking it on up, but Rebirth gets there. And just like that, Adrian with that aggression comes in and knocks it in, putting up Fresno State 4-2 with 2:16 on the clock. Dwizen couldn't find the angle and get it out of goal for that save. Unfortunate. Weathen's with a favorable kickoff. Rebirth jumping all over it. But Dwizen looks to find the angle. Flair trying to get the continuation. Flair trying to jump out of the corner just to try to keep it there. Adrian looks to set up his teammate or the double tap, however. Flair looking to set himself up. Rebirth, knowing the type of player Flair is, gets a nice tap there because he knew the dribbles were coming. Dwizen knocks it on down. Flair grabs hold but gets met at the mark by Fresno State. Junior sets up Rebirth, but Dwizen not allowing it. Adrian hitting it right back. Flair gonna get there. Rebirth trying to clear the goal. Dwizen knocking it across, pushing it into the corner. Flair gets a nice tap for his teammate, but Adrian jumps all over it. Dwizen trying to set up his team. Adrian gets on top of it and once again kicking it away. Flair with a nice shot in front of goal, but it gets hit by Junior. Another set by the Firebirds. Another set by the Firebirds. You can't just keep setting your team up. You gotta knock it down and you gotta knock it in. Firebirds struggling to find their angles in this matchup, shooting it wide, shooting it high. They need to be a little bit more patient on their approach because right now Fresno State is starting to run away with it. And it looks like they are going to jump up in this series 3-1 because it is very unlikely that the Firebirds will be able to bring it back here with only 8 seconds left on the clock. Dwizen gets the hit, drops it down. Adrian tries to get the shot in, but time expires. In this Fresno State, we did not know what to expect coming into it, and they are an aggressive team. As you can see in this one, they have 5 points on the board. But if you look, all 3 of them have over 450 points, which means every single one of them is doing everything they can to just distribute, move around, rotations, communication. You can see it is all in place, and they are backing the Firebirds into the corner right now. Flair starting to cool down a little bit. Can he find that momentum again and find the rhythm with his team and see if they can somehow bring it back? If they cannot, Fresno State is about to shut the door in this one and take themselves into the Final Four. All right, match number 5. Dwizen with a favorable kickoff. Weathen tries to set it up. Adrian grabs hold, tries to kick it into the corner. Weathen grabs hold, kicks it right back. Continues with the aggressive push, but it gets kicked away by Rebirth. Rebirth trying to stay aggressive on it, keeping it on the opponent's side. Rebirth trying to knock it down to set up his teammate. Weathen's just playing it safe, but it does not work out. Rebirth finds the angle and knocks it in. 4:19 off the clock, and Fresno State is up here early in Game 5. Rebirth gonna kick it out in front of goal. Dwizen just knocking it down, staying aggressive on that push. Flair needs to kick it away. Dwizen jumping on up. And Junior jumping in his face. A lot of pop-ups right here. This is getting dangerous. They need to get it away, and they do. Almost getting a shot on goal there. Rebirth knocks it across. Flair with a nice clear there. Dwizen gets the shot on, and Junior kicks away. Weathen's readjusting and just wide of the goal. Rebirth with a nice dribble there, but it does not happen for him. Good attempt, though. Adrian trying to put it down in front of goal. Looking fancy, and Weathen's does not like it. Dwizen with a nice clear here, but Adrian right there to kick it right back. Weathen's pushes it into the corner. Demoed by Junior. Rebirth kicking it over to Adrian. Adrian just wide of the goal. Carthage still has plenty of time here to bring it back in this one. Rebirth with the nice little tap down there. Flair just barely missing it. Escaped it, and then he couldn't get it back. Flair getting the demo on Rebirth. Dwizen grabbing hold. A nice team play there by Fresno, but it does not play out in their favor. Junior kicks it to the side. Dwizen grabs hold, drops it across. And the ball jumps to the other corner. Dwizen tries to push on up, tries to look for some to get his team back into this. Dwizen pushing it off to the sidewall, kicking it back is Flair. Rebirth staying patient on it, almost finding that angle. Weathen trying to set up Flair. Dwizen also trying to find a setup there, but for himself. Fresno State is not allowing anything to pass their walls right now. Adrian finds the angle up top, drops it down, and puts up Fresno 2-0 with 1:02 left on the clock. Is this all she wrote for the Firebirds Team C, or will they figure it out with enough time remaining for them to do so?
60 seconds left on the clock.
Rebirth kicking it up. Dwizen grabbing hold, trying to drop it across. Rebirth grabbing it up again, but Weathens kicks it away. Flair grabs hold, trying to push it over the defender. Junior in his face. Weathens trying to get the set there. Flair looked like he was going to get a bump there. That bump would have been very helpful, but it did not play out for the Firebirds. Wasn't trying to get another set. Junior jumping all over it. Weathen's trying to get the set, but it is not going to be enough. With 10 seconds remaining, Fresno State looks like they are advancing to the Final Four. But we just got to give a shout out to this Firebirds Team C for everything they are doing. Still trying to keep it alive here, but it is not enough. That was quite the matchup. Having nothing to come off of for Fresno State, we did not know what to expect. Firebird Team C gave it everything they had, but it looked like Fresno State just had a little bit more to offer. Their bowl was full. They got all their treats, and they made it happen. And these little old dogs are going to the Final Four. And we will be coming back just shortly. We are going to be getting ready for the Firebird face-off. Firebird Team A taking on the Firebird Team B in probably the hypest matchup we will see leading into this Final Four. 3 teams make it to the Final 8. Coach Palmer, you are putting together quite the program here at Carthage College. And if anybody has questions, definitely feel free to reach out because we would love to answer your questions. But we will be back with you just shortly, and thank you very much for being here.